Stan Van Gundy. And we've got Allie LaForce reporting from the sideline. It's all about the Western Conference. That's where the action is today as the Golden State Warriors get ready to battle. This the first chance to take a look at the Nuggets this season. Guys, they came out on top of the season series matchup a season ago, taking 2 of the 3 away from them. Now here's Curry. Nailed from three-point land. Curry's got the first points up on the board for the Warriors. And, Coach, one thing that David Adelman stressed was getting this Nuggets team in much better shape.
Yeah, it seems like they wore down in the playoffs last season. So improved conditioning and more depth potentially could help them hold up better down the stretch.
Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
I had a chance to catch up with Steve Kerr. He told me there's no real way to stop Nikola Jokic. He can score on anyone, and when you try to double him, he dissects you with his passing, which is arguably his most dangerous trait. Coach continued, you can pick your poison with Joker, but either way, you are... getting poisoned. Back to you, Kevin.
And Allie, thanks so much.
Just a great hustle play there. Energy and passion. This is what you play the game for.
The kick outside to Butler. And it's out of bounds. The Warriors able to retain possession here.
Great energy on the deflection and a good job disrupting their offense.
Yeah, there's nothing easy on offense. Coaches love seeing that kind of hustle on the defensive end.
Can't connect from short range. Pass to Murray. Back to Jokic. Now here's Murray. Shot clock at 5. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Look, Porzingis gets within arm's length of the hoop. He's not going to make many mistakes.
Here's Murray. Draymond Green grabs the miss.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Butler on the way. Outside for Curry. For Murray. Back to Curry. A step back shot here. Denver grabs the miss. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And again, Denver no good. And it's Butler with the ball. He'll bring it up for Golden State. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. The Nuggets trailed by 4. Outside Hardaway. Kicks it out to Gordon. Jimmy Butler with the rebound.
Yeah, slow start for them offensively. 1 for 5. They need to be more patient and find a better look.
The shot's good on the assist by Horford.
It doesn't matter what angle you give him. When Butler gets inside, you know he's going to convert.
Pass to Jokic. And he goes big with the dunk right over Al Horford.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Curry with a wide open look. And a miss there on the triple. So, GA, when you think about Steph Curry's legacy, he changed the way the NBA game is played.
Man, it is hard to find a player who's had the impact of a Steph Curry, making us rethink what is possible. Curry's endless range has really inspired a generation.
Fighting to the hoop. Gordon taking blows, but finished the play. Wow.
Outside Butler. To the paint. Shots good by Green.
And Draymond is smart at knowing when to shoot the ball, especially when he's got strong position inside.
And Brandon Podziemski gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, that's already his second foul, and that puts the coach in a tough position.
Johnson's shot is off. Warriors leading by 4. In the corner, Moody with it. Here's Butler. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Cam Johnson picks one up. And Jimmy Butler is what some might call an old school kind of player. Would you agree, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, he's all toughness, grit, and basketball IQ. A tone setter at the defensive end who plays unselfishly. This guy is all about winning.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
And the defender hung up on the screen, and at 6'11", 265, Valanciunas is a cab ride to get around.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Warriors?
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
And one other thing they've done well today, guys, share the ball. I mean, set up teammates and just playing unselfishly.
From anywhere on the floor, Butler's a threat. And the more points he gets inside, the more dangerous he becomes on the perimeter.
And looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. But you can't make it that obvious.
And now, let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, guys. The Warriors are trying to maximize what Steph Curry has left. Coach Kerr said, quote, "What we're watching with Steph is one of the greatest artists of all time in his twilight. What can we do to give him the best chance to perform, to make the game easier for him?" That's where we are. Guys, back to you.
Looking to stay in the mix. Allie, we thank you very much.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
And these are his second and third free throws tonight. And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. And the first one drops. In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player. And the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance. But threes are still their best bet.
Santos, no good. And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Denver Nuggets. It's a 5-point game. Brown wide open. No good on the three. And there's the try. And the slam by Moody.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Pass to Brown. Kicks it out to Jones. Back to Valanciunas. And so it's the Golden State Warriors headed to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. We come back right after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
Well, if they're going to be that ferocious inside, this defense is in for a long night.
And that one, no good to start him off on the night. Here's Podziemski. Still without a basket. Back to Moody. Some nice passing by Golden State. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Screen by Valanciunas. It's rebounded by Golden State. It's stolen by Johnson. No good from Valanciunas.
I mean, come on. That's a shot you expect him to make.
To the left side wing. And Brown pulls it down. The Nuggets trail by 7. It's stolen. And they blow the whistle for a foul. He was trying to disrupt the fast break opportunity. The Warriors have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And their free throw percentage as a unit last year, 76%, right around the middle of the road.
And Greg, you were a point guard. How has that position evolved over the years?
Well, if you think of how much more of the court that has to be covered and the style, you have to score more now to play the position. I think shooting becomes incredibly important. And then defensively, with all the switching, you got to be able to hold up against size and play all over the floor.
Here's Podziemski. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Moody's shot is off. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Jokic. Oh, Jokic powering inside.
Yeah, I feel like Jokic doesn't even need to see the basket when he gets that close.
In the corner, Moody with it. And again, it's the Warriors missing. The Nuggets trail by 6. Here's Murray. Podziemski grabs the board. Here's the Warriors with the ball. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. It's off to Utah after this game where they'll face the Jazz. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
And inside the paint really is where Horford goes to work. Still athletic enough and really makes it look easy.
Now, here's Watson. Hasn't made one yet. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Outside, Payton. Pass to Santos. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for Denver. They trail by 6. Pass to Jokic. Over post. The Nuggets with another miss. And the Warriors with possession here. A premier offense for the Nuggets, but defensively, Stan, there has been some slippage.
Well, they've had to make some tough financial decisions, letting some of their defensive-minded veterans depart in free agency over the years. They got to wonder who will step up, but it often takes young players a little longer at the defensive end. The unicorn out there doing what he does on defense, protecting the paint.
And it's the Warriors on the break. It's Curry outside. That shot off the mark. The Nuggets trail by 8 to the inside. Porzingis with the steal to the middle. Payton. And it's Jokic with the rebound. And Denver has possession. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. In the corner, Hardaway with it. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Corner jumper right in Hardaway's wheelhouse.
Warriors leading by 5. And here is Moody. Curry outside. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
With this lead, they're playing confidently, showing a quick trigger from beyond.
Wide open look here for Murray, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Outside Curry. Down low. It's stolen by Watson. And there's the call on Curry. That's his first foul.
First team foul. Substitution for your Warriors. Draymond Green. Jimmy Butler.
1:44 left to play in the first half. Pass to Gordon. The Nuggets moving the ball around. And Watson slams it in.
Oh, a fantastic passer at his position. Gordon stays alert and ready to pass to an open teammate.
Here's Curry. Back to Melton. Outside Curry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Green slams it in.
How about the execution inside by Green? He's excellent at knowing when to attack down low.
Gordon a screen. Inside. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And you look at the addition of Jimmy Butler. G.A., why has he been such a fit for the Warriors?
He really is an unselfish, high IQ superstar, and that's what the Warriors are all about. And his isolation, interior scoring has given them another look offensively.
Well, when Gordon is on his game, he affects every part of the game at both ends.
The Warriors shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. Free throw drops for Melton. And we saw last season the Nuggets, GA, in the final week of the regular season, making a coaching change and a shift in their front office.
A pretty rare situation. Seems like there's been a power struggle, and rather than choosing sides, the decision was to just make a fresh start.
Podziemski with it. Outside Butler. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. On the wing, Melton. Good work there as it goes. Santos has got the lead up to 10 now for the Warriors.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Warriors ahead. They're up by 7. Live from Chase Center. You're watching 2K Sports. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for the Nuggets. 7-point differential. Pass to Gordon. And they double up Murray. Back to Gordon. Here's Jokic, guarded by Porzingis. And here's Watson. Another 3 for Denver.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Warriors leading by 4. Curry on the wing. Here's the triple. It's hauled in by Jokic. Here's the Nuggets with the ball. Murray looking around. Down low. It's stolen by Green. Here's Butler. It's hauled in by Watson.
Well, give credit to the defense for cutting him off. Normally, that'd be easy points for him at the rim.
Always good to see Hardaway not sitting back and attacking the rim.
Stan, you know, you think about the release point on Jokic's outside shot. It's tough to get to.
Yeah, Kevin, it certainly is. And the problem is if you start to come out of your stance to try to get to that shot, Jokic will just pull the ball down and beat you on the drive.
First team foul.
And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Pass to Watson. And Peyton Watson gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Sometimes the action speeds up on you a little too much. Two teammates not on the same wavelength there.
Now here's Melton. Now here's Butler. Outside Curry. 6 to shoot. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Here's Porzingis. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Porzingis has got 6.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Here's Murray. The Warriors pull it in. They've led by as much as 10. Here's Curry. Wow, magical moves inside from Steph Curry.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thank you, guys. Well, Draymond Green is getting serious in the weight room. He said one thing I learned is you have to lift weights. I was always naturally strong, so I was like, what do I need to lift for? These guys can't move me right now. But your body needs to be able to withstand the pounding of a long season. Back to you guys.
Okay, Allie, we thank you. That's good from Stephen Curry.
And you know with Curry, what impresses me most is his efficiency. That's not something we normally see in a high-volume jump shooter.
Well, they expect this from him, and he's a big reason they're out in front right now.
To the middle. Here's Valanciunas. And just miss after miss right now. Warriors leading by 9. The shot by Curry. And the Warriors take on 2 more.
Yeah, after a slow start to the game, he's been productive and efficient here in the second half.
Here's Butler. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Second personal foul.
Cam Johnson picks one up.
Yeah, Butler's certainly not shy seeking out contact. He can live at the line.
And so he makes both from the line. Well, going into a promising draft like this past summer, Greg, are losing teams trying to secure that lottery ticket to the stars?
Well, you look at the last, 4.5 decades worth of champions. Only 5 of those teams were led by a player taken outside the top 7 in the draft. So you can see why teams are trying to draft so high.
And staying with the play, Valanciunas.
And Valanciunas takes up a lot of real estate, which helps him snag offensive rebounds.
Pass to Curry. It's stolen by Jones. Brown with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. Jones, no one around him. No good from outside. Outside Butler. Lets it go with the 3. Denver grabs the miss.
Well, despite his lack of efficiency, the team has put together a good offensive effort tonight.
Pass to Jones. Kicks it out to Jones. Just 4 to shoot. Valanciunas with the clock winding down. Al Horford with the rebound. And so Steve Kerr decides to call a timeout. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. So David Adelman decided to call a timeout here. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. And it's the Warriors' ball. They're on an 11-2 run. Pass to Moody. Payton with it. Picked up by Brown. And here comes the break. A good look for Brown. Podziemski grabs the board. Warriors leading by 11. Now the Nuggets bet on the development of young Christian Brown, and he has rewarded their faith. He has developed so nicely.
Kevin, he certainly has. Probably has even exceeded what their expectations were for him. But he's a guy that is such a hard worker. He's smart, he's tough, and he's all about winning.
To the paint. Horford gets the bucket.
Yeah, Horford has gotten more selective with his shooting, but he's still very efficient inside.
Jones runs in. And Jones slams it in.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up your teammates.
And it's the Nuggets with the ball. The Warriors making the shot. .29 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Santos. Off target from three-point range. The Nuggets trail by 10. Here's Brown. And he uses the glass on the layup. Brown's got his first 2 points of the night.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half. And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. The third quarter comes to a close. Warriors lead by 6. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Now Podziemski. On the wing, Payton. Here's the three. Shot by Podziemski, no good. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the Nuggets. They trail by 6. To the inside. Here's Jones.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that.
Here's Payton. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Warriors lead by 6.
Nice read. Sets his teammate up. You like how they're sharing the ball.
Pass to Brown. Knocks it loose. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Payton. Over in the corner, Brown. Clock at 6. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Horford.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Warriors.
Well, they've really been sharing the basketball. All coaches talk about that, try to get their teams to do it. It's really great when you see it in action.
And also, got to be impressed with their interior play, getting in the paint and figuring out ways to score.
And he drives in. And Santos gets it to go.
Able to get a layup out of that one. That's just soft defense there.
Jones up top. It's rebounded by Golden State. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Back to Podziemski. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Jones, no luck. Warriors leading by 7. Here's Podziemski. Pass to post. Another shot. And good that time.
And likes the view from there. He's a strong mid-range shooter.
Yeah, and once you see that advantage from the sideline, you just want to yell at him to shoot the ball.
And we've got a timeout from David Adelman. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent for the Nuggets. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Denver's head coach was saying to the team. He questioned his team's effort, asking them, should I put in the bench right now? Wake up, guys. We can still win this game, but I need you all to play like you believe you can. Not exactly a fun huddle to listen on, guys.
All right, Allie, thank you so much for that.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Murray for 3. And another miss by Denver.
Yeah, you wonder what is he thinking right now. He's not shooting the ball well, and shots like that only hurt his team more.
Butler. In the paint. Butler.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Pass to Gordon. Now Jokic. Guarded by Porzingis. Back to Gordon. Hardaway with a wide open look. Buries it from 3-point range.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the 3 is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
And we've got a timeout called by Steve Kerr. He knows every possession is critical now.
Yeah, just looking to tighten up their defense in the paint. They've got to be better.
Yeah, it's basically a layup line. You're not going to win many games if you can't offer more resistance than that.
Now, here's Butler. Now Curry.
Clever move by Curry, taking the foul, but still getting the shot off.
3rd personal foul. First team foul. At the line for 2, Stephen Curry.
That free throw, no good.
Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. And he's good on the second. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for Denver. 11-point game. The 19-foot shot.
Well, it's been a frustrating night for him at the offensive end. Just not able to give them any kind of a lift.
Curry in the lane. Porzingis. Jokic pulls it down.
That's how to stand your ground under the glass. He was determined.
Oh, the dunk.
Well, it's not what he's known for, but Jokic can throw it down when the chance presents itself.
Green outside. Now Butler.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Going to work down low.
Love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Warriors leading by 11. Outside Curry. From outside, Curry. Oh, what else is new?
On the offensive end, Curry both prolific and efficient.
And you assemble an all-swagger team. Jamal Murray and is on that roster.
Well, you're right, Kevin. And look, where players really gain their confidence, their swagger, if you will, in this league is when you play your best on the biggest stages in the playoffs. Jamal Murray has certainly done that. He has earned his swagger.
Murray rips down the board.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Warriors.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Stephen Curry.
Well, he was the reliable option for them on just about every possession. So dependable, always making the right decision.
Brown fires and get the 3. They're this close to putting it away.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything special. Just take time off the clock.
$15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 5 to shoot. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Nuggets ball.
So we see the Warriors taking the game.